Hi everyone, it's almost March, which means a brand new Home Assistant release is right around the corner. As always, the official version drops on the first Wednesday of the month, but I've already been testing the beta of Home Assistant 2026.3, and in this video I'll show you exactly what you can expect and whether it's worth getting excited about. Let's dive in! Now, this month isn't packed with massive core changes. Instead, the team focused heavily on expanding integrations and improving existing ones, which honestly is great news for stability and compatibility. But don't worry, there are still some cool updates you'll want to know about. So let's jump into Home Assistant and take a closer look. So the first new thing is that now vacuums can be connected to areas. And you will see it in the repairs. So in repairs I see my vacuum here and I see all the areas that are defined in my vacuum app. And now I can assign areas to it. So for instance, living room is living room, hall is, let's see, hallway, etc. And I can save it. And in the future I can now say, for instance, let's clean the living room with my voice assistant, which is really cool. You can also go to devices and services. And let me search for my device. I already did that. One thing is that it only works for Matter, EcoVacs and Roborock at the moment, and more will be added in the future. So if you click on your device and you go to that device here and go to the cogwheel, then there's an option now, map vacuum segments to areas, and now I can add the other ones because I was not yet finished. So scullery, office hallway, that's interesting. I don't have an office hallway area, but I do office, and then kitchen. Okay, save. So this way I can connect areas to the rooms that are defined in my vacuum app. Another thing that has been added is the energy dashboard. If we now go to now, you see a tile card here that shows the current power usage. So that is new. And I believe this was the power tab, and now it's called electricity. And if you go to, for instance, let's say this month, hello. Yes, and if I hover over the results here, now you see that the date and the day is added in the tooltip. So now Friday, February 6th, Saturday, February 7th, etc. So that's really nice, extra quality of life thing added to Home Assistant. And another thing that has been added is if I now go to my home dashboard, I now also see the repairs in my home dashboard in the summaries section. So if I click here, I see the repairs. That is also new. And another thing is in settings, automations. It was already working in YAML, but now it's added to the user interface. So for instance, let's go to a certain automation that I have here. Let's open one of the actions. Let's see. Okay. So here are some actions that are being done in this automation. Now, for instance, if you have an action that is failing, then at the moment the automation stops. But there is a new function in the UI. It already worked in YAML. And that is this one. If you click on the three dots, there's an option, continue on error. So now you see that if this specific action fails, then the automation will still go on, which is also a very nice quality of life thing added to Home Assistant. Now there's another thing, and that I cannot show because I do not have Android. I use Apple, sorry. But this thing is added. There's a wake word detection on an Android phone. Wow. Android phone. I wanted to say Apple, Android phone. So there's wake word detection on an Android phone, which means you can turn your phone into a voice satellite. And that's really nice if you have an old Android phone you want to turn into a voice satellite. So if you have it, just try it out. Might be great if you have some old Android phone laying around somewhere. Of course, it has some influence on your battery usage, because if you want to use it as a voice satellite, the microphone always has to be turned on, and that will cost you a lot of battery usage. So you can do some things like create automations to stop wake word detection at certain periods, for instance, when you're not at home. Okay, and these were already the new things that were added to the core of Home Assistant. But there are tons of integrations added, so let's go through them. I'm not going to go into each of one of them, but here are some new integrations: Ghost, Eagle Amplifier, Home Vault, Hypertech Cloud, iDrive E2, IndyVault, IntelliClima, Leaphair, MTA New York City Transit, My Neomitis. Well, too much to show. Well, actually, OneDrive for Business is nice, because now you can use it as a backup location for your Home Assistant backups. That is cool. Let's see, what do we have more? Well, other things that I do not use personally, but maybe it is something that you have in your home and now you can integrate it. There's also noteworthy improvements to existing integration, and again, it's a lot. So there is Matter now supports carbon monoxide alarm states, HomeKit controller, Reolink, of course, Reolink. There's something added to Reolink again. Guys, if you want a camera for Home Assistant, buy Reolink. It's the best camera you can use for Home Assistant. If you think otherwise, let me know in the comments. Smart things, Roborock. Let's see, what do we have more? Switchbot. Adds passwords to keypad vision devices programmatically. Oh, that might also be nice. Well, there's so much going on here. Proxmox gained a sensor platform with CPU usage, memory usage, disk usage, and status sensors for nodes, virtual machines, and containers. That might be really handy for people who use Proxmox. And a lot of people use Proxmox with Home Assistant, or Home Assistant with Proxmox. Depends on how you see it. So I think this might be nice for your dashboard, or maybe for getting some notifications about temperature or something. Let's see, what do we have more? Well, it's just, it goes on, the list goes on and on and on and on. So I will put a link to this list in the description, so you can read it yourself. Also quality scale, and then other noteworthy changes. There are also things here. Settings page for Matter, Z-Wave, Zigbee and Bluetooth have been reorganized for better clarity and discoverability. Well, let's see that. There were settings. Oh, don't save. Well, to me it looks like it's still on the same page, but okay, it's here. Okay. And Home Assistant is now running on Python 3.14, which means that Home Assistant is faster, and faster is better in this case. Okay. And that was our preview of Home Assistant 2026.3. Personally, I'm really happy that vacuums can now be assigned to areas. That means in the near future I'll be able to tell my voice assistant to clean a specific room, and it'll just work. That's the kind of smart home convenience we all want. Now I'm curious, what's your favorite update in this release? Or is there something you were hoping for that didn't make it in? Let me know in the comments. I read every single one. If you enjoy these monthly updates and want me to keep testing betas, creating tutorials and saving you time, consider supporting the channel with a small monthly sponsorship, just like these amazing people do. It costs less than a cup of coffee per month, and it helps me keep creating valuable content for you. And of course, don't forget to like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. That really helps the channel grow. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye!